And here we are back home, ready for the rehearing of the exposition according to the rules of sonata form. But Brahms is not content to abide by so bald a procedure. He has one more developmental card up his sleeve, and so he begins the recapitulation not literally, but with the opening theme greatly expanded in time, occupying a period 3 times as long as it originally did. This is development through what is called augmentation, the exact opposite of diminution, which we talked about before, and which Brahms has already used several times. And so the theme now sounds like this. How awesome this statement is. You can't explain it away simply through a word like augmentation. So technical a device never explained anything. It is awesome because of how he uses it, where and when he uses it, at exactly the right moment, with a spaciousness of orchestration, with those mysterious woodwind octaves, arriving at such a vibrant resolution, with the strings murmuring and the timpani trembling underneath. And so Brahms has not just begun a reprise, but has sneaked us into it without our being aware of it through a development. Always his method is that of change, growth, metamorphosis, and that is the symphonic secret. But once he has sneaked back into the reprise, he can now afford to be literal, having had so much development right from the start, so that the recapitulation is going to be exactly the exposition all over again. Germs, transitions, fanfares, embroideries, descending scales, the big German tango, the dotted rhythms, all of it with one difference, that this time he does not leave the tonality of E, since the movement must conclude in the key in which it began. So we arrive at the coda, and again here, Brahms does not just literally finish the reprise and start the coda, but again sneaks us into the coda by whipping up a new development of the fanfare theme into a frenzy of excitement, again topped by that climactic triplet figure. Here is how he whips it up, one of the most thrilling passages in all Brahms. At this dizzying height of intensity and passion, we hear the main theme again for the last time at its strongest and most declamatory, and of course in canon. As it now continues to the overwhelming finish, the various germs of the theme are churned up, beaten, developed to their uttermost limit, almost to the breaking point, as if the characters of our novel were all caught in the blazing denouement of their relationships and go down in battle, except for our hero, the gigantic opening theme, still standing bloody and triumphant on this tragic battlefield of E minor. Well, we have had a microscopic look at symphonic method, and perhaps now we can understand a little better what the nature of a symphony is. That it is not just the jello mold of sonata form or rondo form, but form in the sense of constant growth, unceasing development, the creativity of life itself. I have purposely restricted our investigation to the first movement only, in order to use our time for a more thorough look at developmental techniques, bar by bar. If there were time, we would apply the same microscope to the other three movements and find other techniques, but always the same symphonic process at work. And yet the variety is fantastic, all due to his extraordinary powers of invention, which brings us back to poor old Hugo Wolf, who lamented that Brahms invented something out of nothing. Well, to be frank, I don't consider this theme nothing. Do you? Or the second movement themes, this one. And this beautiful second theme. Or the scherzo theme. Or the Passacaglia theme. Are these themes nothing? Far from it. But the wonder is that whether or not they are nothing, Brahms has worked the miracle. For there is something divine in symphonic growth, something akin to creation itself. And Brahms' critics, thinking to condemn him, have only succeeded in offering him the highest possible praise. Thank you, Hugo Wolf, for showing us the light.